The Muslims had gone back to Africa. The Portuguese had gotten Portugal. The Spaniards had gotten Spain. They wanted to be a nation. Nations are emerging. The only thing that made you a nation was your religion. You were either Islamic nation or a Christian nation. Well, you can't be a Christian nation with 100,000 Jews in there owning everything.
Right.
And you need money, so you kick them out and steal all their money.
Teach.
Luis de Santanjo was Columbus's benefactor. He financed the slave trade. I have a 40-page paper that was in the City Sun on that. Were the Jews involved in the slave trade? Hell yeah! Take slave out the sentence and ask the question. That's what I told my friend. Take slave out the sentence. He said, "What?" I said, "Take slave out the sentence." Were the Jews involved in the trade? He said, "Oh. You know what trade Jews ain't involved in? They've been the merchants of the world for 2,000 years. He said, "Oh, well, how much?" I said, "But that's not the question. You are now adjusting the question." There's a wonderful book, The Secret Relationship Between the Blacks and the Jews, by a young girl, about 25 years old. Let's do some homework. Let's do some homework. Let's check some of these things. Let's find out what our history is. Let's find out who these people were. Here's another one, Fossil Found Findings. I had one here that talked about the ice people. It's in that thing that Dr. Jeffries likes to pull out all the time. Anyhow, it says the Iceman in here. It's not even that. It just says the Iceman. Did the Iceman discover America? Couldn't we be clear? Everybody is one of my students, a white student. 36,000 years ago. Researcher, first American Indian found. And every time they find one, it's the first. This one can't be the first. 36,000 years ago, even before the Neanderthal. All right. So the people that came over here, they were African people. The original people were African people. That's all I'm trying to say. They weren't Asians. And I'm not saying some Asians didn't come this way. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not saying that. I'm not saying some Polynesians didn't come this way. I'm saying 47,000 years ago, those suckers were African. And I'm saying that the most people in this hemisphere, when Columbus got here, there were 14 million people in Central America when Columbus came here, and there were only 7 or 8 million people in England. And I'm about a vast wasteland. There were major civilizations. There were all kinds of pyramids. There was the Olmec. There was the Olmec coming from the Mayan culture. There were all kinds of, here's another mistake that talks about. There was all kinds of development here. There was a Mayan culture before I even get to the Olmec. There was a Mayan culture. This comes out of Reader's Digest. Scattered across the eastern half of the United States are amazing earthworks built long ago by little-known people. When they say little-known, it means that the white folks know little about them. Only gradually are scholars learning about the strange ceremonial practices of the mysterious mountain and the serpent. The serpent represents all wisdom because the serpent reincarnates immediately. You know, it sheds its skin and keeps on going. Okay? There's nothing mysterious about it, only if you're European and you don't understand. But look at the kind of great culture they had with the pyramids and the steps and all that. Just like in ancient Kemet. So why aren't they ancient African? Then we have this remarkable of all remarkable things. The Olmec civilization, right? Olmec civilization, does that look like an African to you? But it's not an African. Because Columbus discovered America, so it can't be an African. This is a baby. That's what they say. This is the face of a baby.
Right. Face of a baby.
Sorry, sister, that's what it is. Now, because Ivan Van Cinema didn't really believe these Europeans, he went and got the face of a contemporary Nuba from the Nuba Hills of Africa and put it right next to this white folks' baby in Central Africa. But just in case, now, let me go back to my magazine. I got, this is the Jeffrey pattern, we'll call it going to the videotape. Even when they tell the truth, they lie. Okay, we're the standards that prove this. Talks about the ancient civilizations here. And he talks about the Olmec civilization. This is fall, winter, 1991.
And when was that again?
And it's Newsweek, fall, winter, 1991. Olmec. I know I'm black, and white people believe me, but black people won't believe me.
That's right.
Olmec, sometimes called the mother culture of Mesoamerica. The mother culture. Mother comes first, don't you come first? Okay. They devised a crude writing system. That means Europeans couldn't read it. But it is the box-out heads for which they are still famous. Colossal, multi-ton carvings of their rulers' faces, terrifying and enigmatic. Terrifying and enigmatic. So when you go to see the picture of it, what is this after? Terrifying and enigmatic. And that's what the white folks here write. But one of my students, friends in the study group, went to Mexico,
right.
And it said, attention Mexicans,
Right.
this is the root. Only thing before the root is the seed. This is the root of your history, its cradle and its altar. Listen to the most silent voices of the most ancient. In English, mostest as you can get, right? And they act most, the mostest is the mostest is the most. Most ancient culture in Mexico, the mother of the civilization of our continent, the Olmecs. Here is our African brothers, and so forth on, right? Now, you're in class, and I'm your nice little white teacher, and you bring me this. Say, but this does not prove he's African. After all, this is just similar. You got them big, black, colossal stone carvings here. You got those big, black, colossal stone carvings here. You got those big, black, colossal stone carvings here. Did they cross the Atlantic? No. Hell no! Are you crazy? You don't promise to start America. This is parallel development. So if you compose lullaby a rhythm and you compose it, y'all ain't sampling, just came to me in the middle of the night. Don't leave it up, don't leave it up. If you believe what the European tells you, you will believe the Easter Bunny lays an egg. You will believe a big white man with a white beard and a red suit, and a black belt, and the reindeers that go through the sky don't drop through a chimney in the house, and you live in an apartment in the cold water flat. You will believe it. You will pass on that kind of idiocy, and then you will wonder why your children are 98% dropping out of school, because you got them in these schools teaching them this foolishness. They can see reality. They can see this. They can say, wow, when my son was in the second year of school in Central State, he had a little Jewish teacher, but she was here, and she said, well, Columbus, October said, Columbus, he said, And he brought in his family, he wasn't quite that old then. 30 years ago. He brought in his grandma said, he said, she and her people been here 10,000 years. And she said, really? How do you know this? He was like 6.5. He go, huh? I know my grandmother's West Indian, my other grandmother Choctaw Indian, I know I'm some kind of Indian. I said, that's about what you are, some kind of Indian. So I went up to the school and gave a lecture. But that was not. Because there's nothing wrong with not knowing. It's when you reject the truth that it becomes a problem. I don't blame white people for being stupid because we're all stupid. So when you're faced with reality, don't come giving me a lot of, it's just tiresome. It's just tiresome. You spend all your time. One of my students just drove me crazy last week. I told Sister Potts should have come. She said, do you have